Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Denver by Night. We will start this episode by going around and introducing our wonderful kindred that we have here. And as you will notice, we have a few new faces joining us. We will start with our newest addition, Diana.
Hi. I'm Diana D'Amico. I'll be bringing you B, the Bruja this evening. And
next, Shane.
Hello, I am Shane Easton, and I will be playing Jax Tuesday, your Malkavian, this evening.
Bonnie.
Howdy, I'm Bonnie Gordon. I'll be playing Agnes, your gangrel for the night. And for other nights, forever, I guess. Howdy.
And our last returning champion, Nora.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim, and I will be playing Dr. Nadia Malik, your house medical ventru.
We left off in the last season. All of you waking up to realize you hadn't gone very far. You had thought that you had escaped this place. You had found your way out. That maybe there was a chance. Only to realize that the world around you was nothing more than an illusion. You wake up in this room once again. The same dark, industrial cement room. You realize this is terrible. You can smell the mold, the water, the wetness, the coldness just seeps into your nose, and it's chilling to the bone. It's an overwhelming smell of mold and desperation. You start to look around you to get your bearings, and you realize that the contraptions that are over your head this time are a little bit different. You can see there's a small pane of glass that allows you to glance through. And you realize with your current mates in this cell, Ibis and Delilah are not here. But you do see another familiar face, Dr. Nadia, in a restraint of her own. And one new voice in the chamber you hear whimpering beside her. Unfamiliar to you. What do you do?
All right, so we're back in the tanks, but we can kind of see each other, right?
That is correct.
I'm going to look over at the doctor and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Can I hear her, or can I only see that she's... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Where's the others? Where's Delilah?
It would be good to keep your voice down. They're probably listening.
I suppose.
Who said that?
A fellow prisoner.
And who the fuck is you?
I could ask you the same thing.
We asked you first. Who the fuck is you? You heard her.
I don't know. I'm an unsuspecting victim, same as you. You could have put me here.
I'm not a victim.
What do we call you?
Oh.
What is your name?
What's yours?
Agnes.
Oh, hi, Agnes. It's so nice to meet you. My name is B.
Like the letter?
Or like the insect?
Both?
Oh, right. I do. Yes, they're homonyms.
They're the same thing.
Sorry. I'm a little disoriented.
Did I hear them call you doctor?
Yes, I don't know what I'm doing in here, but I was I had been trying to find a way out of here.
Well, you're a doctor. You can just walk right through the doors.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Jax, is your little friend around?
Charlie?
Love, I'm a bit confused. I thought we were out of this again. Now we're here. I don't think this was my doing. I mean, usually I'm the one that is messing up. I realise that, but I don't think I'm this good at messing up.
No, you didn't mess up anything at all. You see, what I'm worried about, Charlie, if we are in this cave, and we thought we were out of the cave last time, how will we know if we are? How do I even know if I'm awake?
Well, you're talking to yourself, so I'm assuming your little friend is around.
Oh,
Yeah, this is weird.
Sorry, B. It's just something special that I have a friend. Agnes, I'm gonna see if Charlie can take a look around.
That's a good idea.
Something's not right. I shouldn't be in here. What is the last thing that I remember?
Give me a wits and composure roll. And Jax, you do see Charlie starts walking around and looking at the surroundings around him. And he does shout back to you, love, there's another board over here, but there's no levers like there were last time. Nothing for me to pull. It all seems flat.
You don't think there's any buttons to push?
Not that I can see. And what is that for Dr. Nadia?
I rolled 7 dice and I have 1 success. This is not.
You roll like I do.
Just a sea of blank. So we're off to a start. This is fine.
Have successfully rolled to disbelieve any of this is actually happening. You can't remember much, Doctor. It is a bit overwhelming. This whole new thing that you're taking in. You're used to being a doctor in the facility, and this is you are seeing the other side of things right now, and it is not very comfortable for you at all. The last thing that you remember was a stern look from the head doctor. And it seems to fade away into a bright white light that when you try to think harder, almost starts to give you a little bit of a headache.
Are our hands bound?
You are in a containment unit. It looks like a round kind of tube. Your shoulders is where it cuts off, and your head is in a different section. Your hands are free to move inside the unit. They are not tied together.
Do I feel like a seam or something in the actual container itself that would be like a door?
Possibly.
Okay. That's it's quite enough of that, and I'll try and punch it out.
Go ahead and give me a strength and brawl. As this is happening, Doctor, you hear a whisper in your ear. I tried to stop it. I'm not sure what else I can do other than keep an eye on you at this point.
Sister, what am I doing here?
They could see more than we thought. I know your intentions were to try to help. Sadly, they did too.
Can I hear this?
Give me a... what's an awareness roll? Unless you have any sort of heightened senses that you may like to use, those do apply.
One, two, three, four. 5 successes.
You do. You do indeed.
So how did the doctor get caught? And not you, sister?
They're not very fond of me right now, but I'm a bit harder to catch. And trying to stay out of Dodge as much as possible. And as she says this, a very loud bang rings out. And how many successes for B?
6.
And indeed, you feel that your fist goes through with a large dent. And it doesn't quite break all the way through, you notice, but you can feel that you've left a sizable fist print in whatever this metal is. And you hear the nun go, yes, that won't do any good. Do hang on a moment and I'll help you. And she moves over to the panel that Charlie is standing by. And Charlie looks up and goes, oh, look, somebody here knows what she's doing, Jax. All right, good. I think I figured it out. Yeah, that was all me. You're welcome. You're welcome. And brushes his shoulders off. And she moves over to the panel. Ooh, go ahead.
I was just saying thank you, Charlie.
Oh, anything for you, love. And she moves over to the panel and places her hand on the top of it. And it lights up in an outline around her hand. She goes, I do hope this works. And sure enough, after a moment, you feel the front half of your chamber open up and the top unlocks and you are able to walk out.
That's much better. So why am I here?
None of you really know, I suppose, and well, neither do I. They keep things quiet, but where are you from, dear?
Why does that matter? Who wants to know?
Oh, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. You are... you're in a top secret Second Inquisition facility base.
What was the last thing you remember? How did they catch you?
What is the last thing that I remember? How did they catch me?
You may roll a wits and composure for me as well to see what you can remember.
Hey guys, that's a terrible roll for me. That's a 1.
Not much, B. Where is B from? Where would she be hanging out in her own habitat, left to her own devices?
I mean, the last thing she remembers, she was in Boston.
And that is the last thing that you remember. Being where you were, the last place you can think of. As you think harder about it, you do, again, feel almost that same pain, that sharp kind of headache that kind of is your brain telling you maybe don't push the issue. It rings and you see a flash of white light and you feel a sharp pain run through you that comes from your head all the way to your chest and something blue.
I don't rightly know. the habit lady just said a bunch of words that I don't understand, and you all are total strangers, and no one here has an accent. Or where are we right now?
I beg to differ. I do have an accent.
Not the one I'm looking for.
I think we all. I think we all have accents.
You mean an accent?
Are we in Boston?
To your region? I understand now.
No, we are far from Boston. We are in Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
Oh, there's some mistake. I got a fight this weekend. I can't do this right now.
Look,
can we just? I'll reschedule my appointment. Whatever. Just I gotta.
None of us want to be here. All right, we were all taken captive. We thought we escaped this first time, but apparently that was all just one big old illusion. So I guess we gotta do this all over again and find the rest of our friends. I don't even know. Did they even exist? Was Delilah even with us? Because she owes me money.
I'm sure they're here somewhere.
So she talks to an invisible person.
Dead.
And you're wondering if your friends are real. She thinks she's a doctor. Is this a mental institution that we're in?
I am a doctor.
Okay, sure you are.
I can confirm. Dr. Nadia was one of our top physicians here at the facility. And she does look around for a moment and reaches under the table. She goes, okay, just checking. I was hoping it would shut off the transmission when I did that, and it did. You're in a base of people that hunt our kind. And you do notice, B, when she says that, she's not looking real pretty in the face. This nun isn't. And when she smiles, you notice very jagged fangs hanging from her mouth. And she says, we worked here on their side for quite some time until an accident changed teams. We switched. We're trying to help you, but this is a lot. She was a doctor, and I, of course, worked with the more faith-heavy side of things.
They see the state that we're in as a disease, whereas I'm sure all of you would agree that we don't see it that way.
A cure is what they're after.
And by curing, they're doing all kinds of crazy experiments, wiping us out. All I know is, I don't know if we got out here at all the first time, but I expect to get out of here second time, because this is... I don't like being kept in a cage.
How did you all escape before?
Well, that's the trick. We don't know if we actually did, because here we are again, and I can't make heads or tails of it.
I'm Charlie. Do you think you could pinch me?
Oh, of course, love. Not a problem. And you do feel a slight pinch on your arm, Jack.
Well, it feels...
Just in case that ghost trick didn't work, and I'm just going to give her a smack, a slap.
Agnes!
Did that work? Did you feel that? You awake?
Yeah. I'm awake.
Can we get out of here now, please? The more we sit in these rooms, the sooner they're going to find out that we've gotten out of our little holding tanks.
Where's my lab coat?
It was taken from you in the transport down Here, I can try to get it back for you, but if someone sees you with it, they will probably take it from you again.
So am I just a prisoner here like everyone else?
Welcome to the club, darling.
I am sorry. I am dreadfully sorry. I believe the only reason they have not done so to me is that I have chosen to seclude myself to the boiler room. Look, I chose to be out of sight, and therefore no need to push the issue.
Well, Agnes, what about Rex? If you had any doubts before whether I was truly trying to help you, I hope that this shows where my intentions lied.
This could all be a trick.
Exactly. Oh no, you lost your coat. Whoop-de-doo. What about Kurt and Heather? Where are they? Are they still alive? Do we know where they are?
Are they real people or more imaginary voices?
They're real.
Honestly, I don't even know anymore. Actually, Jax, can you slap me?
And I smack her across the face.
And you do feel the sting of Jack's slap across your face, just as she felt yours.
Not bad, not bad.
Are you enjoying yourselves?
Pull up a 6 on a cardboard.
Do I see a way out? Is there a doorway or a secret lever or?
There are several doorways in this room. One very large one in the front. This is a sizable room that looks to be half hospital room, half military facility. It is very industrial, very old. Things are rusty. They suppose no need for cleanliness in here. It's not like you guys are going to get a staph infection. And you see a couple of small metal doors that Jax, Agnes, you guys remember as being some of the storage closets of the room. But other than that, no.
Sister, the cells where they're keeping all those other of our kind, Kurt, Heather, Avery, all of them, why are we in these tanks and not in cells like them? Is there a way that you can make it to where, you're moving us from one location to the other, putting us in cells, something we can get to them?
Everyone goes through the same process at the beginning.
They
delve into your minds. They want to know who you are, how you work. You've been separated from some of your friends, and I can look into where they have gone. I had only just found you, which of course, I was looking for Dr. Nadia. She was my easiest link. And I can continue to look for your friends, but they are no doubt in other parts of this facility. It is a lot larger than what you think you saw. That I apologize. That sounds so strange, but yes, it's bigger than you think.
So you're saying there's a chance we can get Ebis and Delilah out too? Are they in a cell somewhere?
There is a very good chance that they are in another cell. There is also a very good chance that they are not.
And where would they be if they're not?
And she does just hang her head low for a moment and turn and make the sign of the cross on her chest and turns back around and goes, I'm sorry. I will do whatever I can to find them.
You do that. You find them.
I did manage to see Theodora on my way to you.
Ebis's sire.
Yes.
Was she all right? Was she still alive? Where was she? In a cell somewhere? In a tank?
In another processing tank, just like you. Not too far from here, actually.
Well, then we should be able to hear her.
If we can get her out, do you think she still has a connection to Ebis? Or we can find her? If we find Ebis, we might find Delilah.
I suppose. I will give you a bit of advice. Things move like clockwork around here. And if you can get your timing right, you can get almost anywhere.
Could I listen at each of the doors in turn during this conversation? Because I don't know these people, so I don't care about this conversation.
Yes, you may. And what is it you are listening for, B?
Anything that would give me an indication of if we're currently being listened to or about to be interrupted, or anything that would give me an indication of how far underground we are, because the sister did say something about us going down below.
Excellent. Yes. Give me a roll, please.
What kind of roll?
Do you have any kind of heightened senses?
No, I'm kind of investigative.
Then you can roll me a wits and investigation.
Okay.
Or intelligence and investigation, if that's better.
Oh, I'm not that smart. I'm witty, not smart. That is 6.
It sounds like you are very deep underground. You can see that some of the walls around you that do look very industrial are also somewhat natural stone. This facility is very much carved into something underground, not built up out of cement. You hear there is people outside moving through the hallways outside of the main door. And you hear marching and heavy boots, and you can hear the maneuvering of guns and artillery outside. Doesn't sound like there's anybody perched up by the door, but you do hear people making rounds, is what it sounds like. And you can kind of gather that as you hear the nun say things here work like clockwork, that's probably what she's talking about.
As I watch B, listen to all the doors, I'm just going to be like, look, I don't know you from Adam, but I'm going to point to Jax like, she and I didn't know each other either until this whole shenanigans thing started. So if we're all going to survive this again, we're going to have to work together. So you can either stick with us or you can go back into your tank.
Well, I suppose there is some comfort in numbers in this case.
I get it. I don't like to work with others either, but in this case, we really have no choice.
Well, I mean, you say you've escaped before. That obviously gives you some information that could be useful.
Look how good that did us.
Yes, well, you do have a powerful advantage this time.
Unless we never escaped the first time.
Well, but I wasn't with you then, so have no fear.
True.
We'll figure this out.
Neither was the doctor. I think that gives us a little bit of an advantage because, Doc, if anyone knows the proceedings and timing of the clock around here, I'm assuming you might.
Well, I can certainly do my best. Sister, when being unaware of the exact time at the moment, how long till the next shift change?
Shift change should be in about an hour and a half. They come around every 15 minutes to do sweeps. They don't always check all the rooms. I'll be honest with you, a lot of the facility guards are outside hires that are more so just here to do a job than anything, aren't completely aware of everything that goes on here, or a lot of times what they're even watching. If you can dart in between them, you can feel free to move throughout the facility. Just be very careful. There are areas here that are under heavy surveillance. Doctor, you know of some of them. I can try to get you some maps of some sort. I'll hand draw them if I must, of some of the other ones that I have found, just to avoid any complications. And she does look very nervous for a second and kind of clasps at the cross around her neck. I feel the plan that you all had would work. You have to get the rest of them on board. This facility is very large, and without all of us moving as a unit, we will not be able to accomplish it. When you move throughout the facility, please try to talk to people. Try to tell them the plan. And perhaps soon, although I know not soon enough, we'll be able to bring this place down to the ground.
We need to figure out how to find the power source of this place. We need to open up these cell doors. We need to get everyone out of here. If we can open all the doors at once or something, release everyone at once, the guards will have no chance. It's like releasing animals out of a zoo.
Time out there, Cowpoke. I need a little bit of help understanding this here. You were a doctor. I heard something about the second eye and kindred. What is this place?
There are humans who know about us, and not in, the fun storytelling, Nosferatu film from the 20s sort of way. It's there are people who know about us for real, not the Twilight vampires, not the Vampire Diaries. They equate us to shit like that, but they know that we are special. And they either want to kill us all or
Cure
something worse.
Us all.
And so some of us were brought in, and then some, like myself, were made.
Oh. Okay.
Welcome to hell.
There are a few of those here, not necessarily just like the doctor and I who were made accidentally. There are others. Conspiracy theorists, children too curious on the internet looking into things that have wound up being changed and then used for research.
Torture.
So they're going to experiment on us if we don't get out. Is that what I'm hearing?
They're going to experiment on you no matter what. Even if you do get out. If you haven't realized by now, it's like a game of mousetrap.
I never played that game.
The hell is a mousetrap game?
It's a continuous cycle. They'll let you go just to see where you go. But you will never escape as long as they exist.
Sounds like a shitty game to me.
Something cheery, I guess. Yeah.
That's a role I don't intend on playing. Do I remember what the guards looked like from last time?
How so?
Like, do I remember, like, were they wearing uniforms or?
They were wearing just the utility grade belts and camo, not really anything specific that said, Second Inquisition or no name tags or anything, no patches, but they looked very utilitarian.
I'd like to use Mask of 1,000 Faces and try and become one.
Excellent. And you all do kind of notice that Jax looks a little different. You can't put your finger on it. Can't really put your finger on even what you remembered Jax's features used to look like now that you're thinking about it. And the more you try to look at Jax, it kind of is like, what?
Charlie, how do I look?
Look, I love you in the morning. It's a good look for you. This, every time we do it, it's useful.
I look useful.
It's a good look on you, love. You actually, always are useful, though. So, I mean, I suppose you should look at it. It's good for you. By the way, I'm noticing that, this nonsense a day experiment on people is an odd lack of, more people like me in here, if they actually, to the others.
Huh. Well, you would know more about that than I would. But maybe it's not as bad as we... Oh shit, maybe it's worse than we think.
I suppose there are some things worse than death, ain't there, love? I'm gonna go keep an eye on things for you if you'd like, Jax. Bit slip out into the corridors, see if I can get a good glimpse if anybody else is around.
Sounds like a plan.
You'll never miss me, love. I'll be right back.
Nadia, do I look the part?
Jax, you never cease to impress me. You look amazing. What I would maybe suggest, since you are dressed the part so beautifully, if you would be our transport, I suppose, through the halls to wherever we are headed. And if we do run into anyone else, I will use my abilities to just make it seem like they never even saw us and to go about the business.
One fatal flaw, Doc. Where are we going?
Well, I suppose our first stop amongst many would be to, was it Ebus's sire?
I could take you to Theodora if you so wish. But also, I can move you closer to general population if you'd like.
And then there's also the lupines.
They are in another general population far away from all of you. A completely separate wing about 1.5 miles away underground, to be honest.
Good. That's the only fight I've ever lost. It's not a proud moment.
So you are aware of the lupines?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of them where I come from.
All right. Well, what say all? Should we head to a general population or should we head to Theodora first?
It depends on how useful we think Theodora will be.
Not to put math in front of everyone, but general population does mean general. We might have more luck if we talk to more people.
That's true, but Theodora does know our missing friends. Whereas maybe we'll have a little bit of trouble finding anybody who knows their whereabouts.
Okay, all right. It seems like you all are very tied to these people who are not here. So, sister, is one perhaps on the way to the other?
Yes. Theodora is not too far from you, actually. And our window should be opening up in about 2 minutes. There'll be one more round going through, and we should be able to make it across the hallway. I've taken the liberty to take out one of the cameras on my way in here, so they shouldn't see us.
Just in case, as soon as they say 2 minutes, I'm going to activate my powers of feral weapons and extend my hands into claws, just in case you run into trouble.
And I intend to use cloud memory on any of the staff that we see.
I'm going to do a rouse check to do that. Forgot that part.
Excellent.
Well, I'm okay.
And you do notice that as she begins to count down the time for you all, and she moves out of the way, Jack, so that you may take the lead with your Mask of 1,000 Faces, she counts down for you. And as she gets to 10, 9, 8, you notice she fades away into the darkness and you cannot see her. But you still have the count in your head and you know it's time.
Okay, so everybody get close together and act like your hands are bound. And I'm going to be in front here, and Charlie's going to be in front of me, leading me. And I might have to be mean. So if I am mean, and I mean I can get mean, please forgive me in advance.
Do you open the door, Jax?
Yes, I open the door.
You notice that at first, it feels like it's kind of stuck. And you hear a voice go, "Oh, my apologies." And you hear it unlock. As you walk out into the hallway. Oh, sorry, do go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
As you walk out into the hallway, you do see just the tail end of the back of one of the security guards' foot turning the hallway as they're walking away. And you see that the other door, right across from the hall, does the same thing. A gentle click that opens up right in front of you across the hall. And you hear the words in your ears, "She's in there."
Who's in there?
Theodora.
Okay, I'm gonna. Who's right behind me right now?
I suppose I am.
Okay, I grab her arms and I quickly, briskly just walk across towards the door, pretty much just dragging them behind me.
Excellent. You are muted, Agnes.
I'm muted. I was saying I'm going to be in the back behind B because we don't actually know B and I don't fully trust her yet. So I'm kind of keeping my eye on her in the back.
I don't let that happen. We might walk side by side, but you're not.
We're gonna continue to like just be back. Yeah, we're gonna be right next to you, like what you being in front than me, and then we're both gonna be like fighting our way to have the other in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Daunt whenever we step out into the hallway too.
You all feel that slight wave of as you step out into the hallway, and you kind of turn around and you look back at B, and you're like, "Oh, yep. That's where it's coming from."
Checks out.
So we're just hauling towards the door. Yeah.
As you all move into the next room, you see that there are a few kindred that are passed out on tables, not containment units like you were in. Although there are a few of those in the room. 3 to be precise. 2 of them stand empty and 1 with Theodora. Right in the middle. She seems very out of it. And you realize that this looks a lot more like your other containment unit that you had started in, complete with the blue liquid surrounding her. The kindred that are on the table that are passed out are not moving at all, like not even a wince, not a wiggle. It almost looks like they're in a torpor of some sort.
Can I put my hand on one of the open containment, one of the open containment cells, and use Spirit's Touch to kind of see if I can get a sense of what happened?
Yes, you may roll that for me, please. You all see the nun steps out from another shadowy corner and says, I told you she wasn't far. As for these three, I'm not quite sure who they are, but they were most unlucky.
So disturbing.
How many successes?
2.
2? You feel a lot of energy coming from these tanks, Jack. It is overwhelming at first, and it takes you a second to really grasp on and center what it is, because it feels like just being hit in the face with a brick of emotion. And it's confusion, it's pain, it's you feel like that blue velvet stuff again, that blue liquid. It's just draining the willpower out of you. Like you can only hold on to it for a brief second, but you do kind of get the inkling in the back of your mind that this is a cyclical thing. This is just repetitive, and the further you go back into this, it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over again.
I'm going to go up to the one that Theodora's in. I'm like, how do we open this damn thing? We can't take the others with us. They look too weak.
Precisely what I was thinking, but, give me just a moment. And she does walk over to another panel and puts her hand on it again, but it doesn't light up. She goes, I'm not sure what to do at this point.
I'm going to try and punch it open.
Go ahead and roll your strength and brawl for me.
That's what I'm good at.
Excellent.
I have a feeling me and B are going to have a good old fun time.
We're going to wrestle.
We're going to wrestle. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes? Not great.
You ball your fist up and you punch as hard as you can, and you do see that a little crack starts to form in the glass right in front of you. But you notice that little drips of that blue liquid start seeping out. And Agnes, you're actually not quite sure if that is going to bust open onto your feet at any point in time. But it's cracked. You got it. But you've got to figure out a more careful way to do this.
I'm going to just scream, wake up, you old hag!
I'm just going to casually step aside.
Valid. There is no movement that comes from Theodora.
Any ideas, ladies?
I look at the passed out, drained kindred on the tables, and I look at Theodora's chamber, and I just say, maybe she's joining her new friends?
So what, you saying we should just leave her?
Can I just inspect the electrical, just like the whole setup, see what maybe could be not causing it to turn on?
You may. Give me a wits and investigation roll, please.
Well, poop. I forgot to add my +2 to brawl damage.
Oh no! Wait. So that would have been
Seven.
7. I'll say that it does break. Actually, if it is a 7,
because I did my feral weapon.
I will still say roll your investigation about the panel, Dr. Nadia. But yeah, the liquid does come out, and I will have you give me a dodge roll, a Dex and Athletics, to see if you are able to move out of the way in time of this blue velvet as it spills down onto your feet.
Oh, 3 successes and a skull.
Ooh, well, the three successes are all that matters here. Cool. When you get that, you definitely got on the bottom of your pants a little bit, Agnes. You're able to kind of high step it away, but some of it does kind of splash up onto you a little bit, and you just can feel for a quick second that, as it's even near you. And you do see Theodora kind of like slump down. She falls backwards a little bit, and her shoulders kind of keep her upright with her head locked in position as she's still in the unit, but at least it's open.
This is going to stain.
She certainly doesn't seem very chatty, this friend of yours.
Oh, trust me, once she starts talking, she doesn't shut up.
No.
I rolled 3 successes, but I would, as a doctor, go over just to see if how well she was holding up and just check her out.
The 3 successes, you're not quite sure why the panel did not light up. Could be that maybe that wasn't something that the nun ever had access to. You do know that they keep the permissions kind of cordoned off certain people to certain things, and you don't even always know what you have access to until you try.
All right.
You walk over to Theodora, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
You can give me a wits and medicine roll or an intelligence and medicine roll if you so wish.
I'll do wits and medicine. 5 successes.
You know that if you can find a way to kind of like get her out of there and just give her a minute, that without being soaked in the blue velvet, she'll probably come back to momentarily on her own.
All right, then. I start, I have my arms under her shoulders. I'm like, Agnes, be a dear, please. Please help me lift her out of here.
Do you just reach in and grab her?
I would just have to put my arms just to try to lift her, and then I'm very certain I'm going to need help with that.
I'm right there. I'll one-handed hold her up. She's pretty tiny for me.
You both reach in, and as you grab her to get her out, you feel this overwhelming sense of dread. It's like it's a nausea that you're not used to even expecting to feel as a kindred. And this it feels like the world and the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and everything is just bad. And you realize that she's still soaked in this blue velvet, and you're right in contact with it, trying to get her out of there as well. And you both take one superficial, but you do manage to pull her out and lay her down on the ground.
Okay. I lean over to Agnes and I say, "What are you doing? I mean, I liked her, but I didn't like her that much." Whew.
Look, I don't really care for her either, but she's the only connection we really have to what happened to Ebus and Delilah, so... In all honesty, I don't give a shit about this old lady, but I figured, I don't know, she might come in handy.
I digress.
We're trying to get everyone out of here.
Oh, that too.
After a few moments pass, you do hear, oh, for the love of God, what the hell was that?
That's the only reason
I haven't had a trip
brought
like that since the 60s.
Oh, this is
the reason I brought her back.
This is terrible. We should go. We should. This was a bad idea.
The world needs Theodora.
Yep. Who's the new teenager? Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, what's happening? Oh, where are we? Oh, the stuff is awful. Why do I smell like a Listerine factory?
Theodora.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Oh, I'm up. Where's Ebus?
Do you remember anything? We're trying to find Ebus. We're trying to find Delilah. We're trying to find any of the others, trying to get out of here. We got this new person, B, here. She seems all right, I guess. But we don't know what the hell is going on. You're welcome. Don't take it as a compliment.
Oh, I will.
Fine.
Theodora, we seem to have woken up again.
Boy, I'm noticing that seems to be a pattern around here. I too thought I was awake, and then I was not awake. And now I am awake, I think. But maybe not. Are you awake? And she does walk up to you, Agnes, and poke you a bit in the shoulder.
You're about to be put back asleep as I put my fist up.
Getting a lot of really valuable information here.
That's wow. So none of you have seen Ebus.
That's the only reason why we got you out of this tank, to see if you knew where Ebus was.
Well, I suppose if I were in a tank, I would not have been able to answer. If she tried to use the pin to get a hold of me, I wouldn't have heard it if I'm unconscious. But I suppose I could come with you wherever. Where are you going? How did you get here? What is happening?
We don't know. We don't know, honestly, what we're doing.
Look, worst case scenario, Ebus and Delilah are captive here still in a cell somewhere with some of the others. Best case scenario, they somehow got out and escaped, and we're stuck in here. We're trying to reach them out there, too. So
it's
either way.
Cute that you think that's the worst case scenario here.
Worst case scenario, they're dead.
I mean, we're all kind of.
And yes, that's the worst case scenario, as I point to like the Kindred and Torpor on the table.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh, they do not look like they had a good day. Hey, okay, well, let's get the hell out of here, away from whatever the hell did that. And you do see that the nun walks forward and goes, it would be wise to wait another 5 minutes or so before trying to move forward if we want to encounter the least amount of resistance. Although I know, Theodora, you are probably very excited to find Ebus. I'm not sure where she is yet either. We were hoping you knew. Theodora looks up at you all and says, I can try and sense her and see if she's around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Don't ask me how we do it. It's Tremere magic, and that's what makes us great. And you see her focus for a minute, and she rubs her temples and goes, oh, I don't have to do that. There's just something in my throat. Give me a minute. I feel like she's still alive, although not very close.
I'm going to look over at B and it's like, we should have left her in the Listerine.
I told you. I tried. Look. We could just.
We could. I like it. I like this one. I was be like, all right. You speak my language.
Terrible thing. As I'm looking for like a towel or something to dab Theodora, the goo off of Theodora. That's a terrible thing to say.
I'm miming all kinds of terrible, like punching in the face and the gut and hanging and all kinds of stuff. Just far enough away that I think Theodora's vision has failed her.
And yes, you're able to do that, and she does not notice. And yes, Dr. Nadia, you are able to find some of the surgical towels and things like that, napkins that are over by some of the tables. And as you do kind of dab Theodora, but she goes, oh, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Oh, what's become of me? I'm going to have to go see the hairdresser when I get out of here. One of these days. Are we getting out of here? And the nun looks back at you all and goes, I can take you now if you'd like to go. to the next area.
All right, I'm going to look over at Theodora and be like, pretend that you're cuffed. Listen to Jax. She's escorting us. Jax, you got another talkative prisoner on your hand. Feel free to be mean.
Yes, yes. Listen to me.
Who are you?
Oh, that's right. Jax, she doesn't recognize you with the whole, you know.
Hello, Theodora. It is I, your friend, Jax Tuesday.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's a guy. I like that. Oh, all right. Okay, now that I know what we're doing, let's go.
I liked it so much more when we were just talking to invisible people.
Me too. Moving on.
All right, no kid. And you do see Charlie walk up to you, Jax, and go, love, just remember, keep your head on straight and act like you belong. Keep that confidence, and I think all of them will believe you.
Yes. I must maintain my usefulness. Are we ready to go?
The nun does walk up to you, Jax, and she slides a piece of paper into your hand. And on it is written a route. And you can see on the route that there are little check marks that show where some of the camera footage is. And a little highlighted route that goes straight to where it says general population. And you'll notice that there are no check marks along that path that she has drawn you. She leans in and says, the check marks are the cameras. Stay away from those. And remember, the increments, the timing. You'll be able to get it right. I'll see if I can find you another stopwatch somewhere along the way. Perhaps keep you clued in.
Thank you, Penguin.
You're very welcome.
She talks to animals too.
She talks to everything. It's weird.
I kind of like it. I can dig it.
It grows on you a little bit.
Okay, listen up, prisoners. Let's move. And I grab them and we just start off down the hall.
As you make your way down this hall, you notice that there are more rooms, just like the ones that you have seen. It's more of those tanks that the facility has. And this hallway seems to go on forever. It's almost frightening to think about, are there more kindred like you in these rooms? Are they half empty like Theodora's? Some of them you can't even see into. But as you walk by, just sinking feelings, it almost seems as though it's getting colder. But you know as kindred that temperatures don't really affect you. But it's just something in your soul. You walk through and you get to an area where you can see cells. There looks to be individuals in them, although something about them smells very tasty. You notice when you walk by that some of them look very flush in the cheek. They don't look like kindred.
Under my breath, I say to everyone, I say, now we do not have time for a snack.
But what are they doing in here? If they're, living.
Weren't you living?
You hear a whisper come from behind you all, from the darkness. They have to replenish the blood bags, Doctor. I know it was never discussed with you, but it was left up to some of us to refill them. This was the best way that they could think of. Welcome to the wing of ghouls that don't know they're ghouls.
So what we're saying is this is kind of like the cafeteria.
Right, mess hall.
Precisely. They are not dumb enough to ever just put one in a cell with you and let you feed. And even those that must. And she kind of shoots you a look, which you can feel the breath kind of hit your neck as she does look towards you, Dr. Nadia. Those with more refined palates get privileges, but under extreme watch.
Well, I'm not quite hungry for any of them anyway. I have a very precise palate as well.
Agnes likes them free range.
And you do hear that she kind of chuckles under her breath as you say that. She goes, well, perhaps if one of them turns out to be a giant asshole, I will try and find one to bring to you, Agnes. And you do hear her kind of put her hand over her mouth after she says it. She'll say,
I'm just going to look. Well, I guess I can't see her because she's in the shadows. I'm just going to look directly in the shadows and goes, that's not what I meant.
But halvesies?
You can have it all.
Oh, okay.
You can have all the assholes.
Do follow me. Follow Jax, I mean, right up this way, the path that I've drawn. We're not too far. Try not to let your hunger get out of control as we walk through here. And as you are walking, again, this is an impossibly long hallway. There's a lot of people in here, and it does, it's giving you those fond memories of those free-range hunts, Agnes.
I was okay. I had a nice snack from Evis right before, so I'm good.
Also true. You make your way through and you see, you notice that there is one in particular that even looks like they were part of the folks that you had met, the circus folks, the carnival. It looks like it's a boy who was over by one of the rides. Probably one of the ticket takers, but you can tell, especially in his style, that for some reason that's him and he's here too now. You walk further and you get to a large room. There is a very, very heavy door in front of you, but you can see through the windows, which look like they are threaded. On the opposite side of the door, you see many individuals walking around. A lot of them half dazed. Some of them very thin, a little wild-eyed, perhaps hungry. But you know your own, for the most part. You can tell as they walk. You could tell as they get a little hungry. You know those looks anywhere. This is the general population. You feel a breeze blow past you, Jax. And you hear the door click. There is another door on the other side. Another secondary measure, but you are at least now in the first hallway.
Charlie.
Yes, love.
If doors were opening for you everywhere you went, not by your own autonomy, but perhaps from someone else, would you go through those doors?
Oh, well, I believe it's that, I believe it's the penguin doing it, love. And I think she means for the best.
You always know. Come on, let's move. go through.
And you do go through. You see this long hallway that has all of that threaded glass that goes down the sides. And you have a much clearer view of what it looks like in here now. It is still just as terrible as the rest of this facility. But as you look up, you see what looks like the roof of a cave. This is all a natural surrounding in this area, and it seems to go on for miles. There are groups of people sitting around with each other. Some that look like they've made friends. Others, different groups of individuals looking back and forth across the way at other groups, not too sure about each other. There are tons of different kindred here. Every age, every race, every color, every creed, every clan. And you realize this is way bigger than you thought. As you go to walk through the door that will get you into the next part, the main part of the general population, you notice that there are 2 guards standing by the door on the other side. They have not seen you yet, but they will when the door opens.
Seeing the guards, I'm going to look over at D and be like, you want to prove yourself worthy of this group? You want to take the right? I'll take the left.
Why don't we wait and see if we have to hurt them first? I mean, surely there's more than 2 guards in a facility this big.
You obviously have not escaped this place before, because we've had to do our fair share of guard killing. Trust me, they're not going to hesitate.
Neither did you, my love.
Touché.
If you want to have a bit of fun, and should they survive, and I put a very big asterisk on that, I will use Forgetful Mind, and that in case I'm just going to implant a memory that they fought each other and knocked each other out.
That works. As soon as Jax walks through the door, they're just going to assume another guard's walking in. So that should distract him long enough for us to just knock him out as quick as...
Yeah.
Oh,
We've been trapped in those tubes long enough. I'm sure your arms need a bit of a stretch.
Well, let's have a little fun then.
Can't guarantee I'll keep them alive, but I'll do my best.
It's up to you.
Oh, was that the goal?
You said you didn't want to hurt them.
I do think it would be a bit more suspicious if they were dead, but
okay. All right. No bloodshed. No bloodshed this time.
All right, let's just try and knock them out easy. You put that little memory doohickey in there, and we can just become part of the general population for the next guard change. They might not even catch us. Okay. We're all wearing the same fancy orange jumpsuits. I'm assuming, right? Melee, we're all wearing the same jumpsuit again?
You are indeed.
Okay, cool.
For the guards to see if they noticed something. Do forgive me.
Oh, right.
Yes, you are wearing the orange jumpsuits. That is the same as you, Jax, even though you are Mask of 1,000 Faces right now. You look down and realize that you very much are indeed also wearing a jumpsuit.
Blech. I hate this thing.
My least favorite color.
Delilah's probably freaking out.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
It's a bit risky, but I can try to walk you in. Again, I'm not currently sure how they feel about me, and If I'm wrong, I will undoubtedly wind up like you again if they catch me. But I can at least try to take the lead.
We will make sure they don't catch you. I promise.
Thank you, Jax. And she does move forward towards you, and you see that she puts her thumb on something on the end of the handle that you hadn't really quite noticed her doing because she had been invisible before. But as she touches it and puts her thumb in a certain place, that's when it unlocks. And you see it pop open and move. And she goes, my thumbprint is still working, so it's either a trap or they're still okay. I don't know how any of this works. And she opens the door and walks through and looks at the two guards on the side and goes, gentlemen, I've found a couple of the new kindred here awake. They have passed through all of the initial intake, and I believe that it is time to introduce them into general population, if the charts are correct. One of them looks over at her and doesn't say a word, but smiles and motions through. The first step that she takes, he sticks his foot out, and you notice that she trips and falls to the ground right onto her face. And she stands up and dusts herself off and stands back up straight and goes, follow me, ladies. And a chuckle comes from both of them.
As soon as they start laughing, I'm going to blink behind the guard on the right and smother him.
Go ahead and roll that for me.
Oops.
You are super fast with blink.
That's 1, 2, 3. 8 successes.
You do indeed get right behind him so quick that half of you don't eat. You're you think B is there, and then she's just not. And you have your hand over his mouth, and as you do this, you hear the click of about 200, 300 weapons into position, and you all see a bunch of red dots show up all across B's face as she's holding this man trying to smother him. And as you look up, you notice that there are hundreds of snipers that are positioned throughout this facility. And this goes on for miles, this tunnel does. But there's a large amount of them up there.
Hey, B, you got a little acne on your face. You might want to...
I'm going to lean, and I'm super short, by the way, guys. I'm like 5 foot nothing. I'm going to lean in real close to his ear so that he can almost feel my lips against his earlobe and say, you should be more polite to ladies. And I'll let him go and take a step back.
He looks at you and goes, I am polite to ladies. He goes, you ain't a lady, and neither is she. I don't know what the hell y'all things are. I don't want no part of it. And he leans back against the door, gun tucked back into his hip. And you are still lit up with the dots, B. And as you back away slowly, they follow you until you are back into the line with the others. And you see one by one, they slowly start to dissipate as they drop their weapons.
I walk over to B, and I really quickly whisper, I'm sorry, I have to do this. And I take my hand and I smack her across the face, and I say, get in line.
You see the guard kind of chuckle, and he goes, that one's a new one. He goes, this is going to be an interesting group. This is. How much you want to take bets? That one right there starts her own little group. I bet you she's the leader. And you see the nun kind of takes your hand, Jax, and goes, follow me, ladies. I'll show you where everything is. Walk right this way. And she does kind of look up very nervously at the gunmen. A couple in particular who seem to be looking at her very closely and kind of leaning down into a couple of walkies and talking. And she looks back at some of you and goes, I'll have to make this brief. Again, my only chance is to stay out of Dodge. And she walks you through deeper into the tunnel. You see that there is a small area that is got a very large chain link fence over it and very thick steel on the other part attached to it with a thick pane glass window. There seems to be an attendant there of some sort, kind of talking to people and kind of, asking questions. People seem to be very, talkative over there, asking for things. She leans in and goes, so that's the blood bank. It's like the commissary. If you would like to eat, if you get hungry, head that way. They should be able to help you find whatever you need if you have any particular tastes. It's not the best by any means, but it'll keep you from losing your wits and having them put you down.
Oh, thanks.
It's not the best news, I know, but, well... And she just keeps walking.
I'm going to be like, well, so now what? We're in the general population. Now what?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Is this always like this? I've never seen so many guns in my life.
You are in a very, 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 very secret facility. And it is military, and it is church, and it is both of them together. And you, us, we have abilities that you know, and, that terrifies them. They have abilities of their own, but, if you ask me, I think ours are better. And I think they do too, and that's why they're scared. So you have to kind of count on them being a bit overkill on these things.
Look, I thought our initial goal was to find the others and just get out of here. What are we doing in general population? Are we trying to find the others? Do we have a plan? Are we trying to, get the gang back together? What do we do here? Are you just saying we're just going to have to sit here in general population for the next 10 minutes? 2 days? No. Month?
Follow me. I'll show you to the sleeping areas.
I'm not very tired.
Just follow. And she does walk you guys through a little further. And you, again, notice a couple more people from the outside that you had seen before. Mullet is actually sitting over near one of the bedroom areas, Jax. And he kind of gives you a little wave and goes, fancy seeing you. Welcome to the group.
Lovely to see you too.
He goes, I see the sister has brought you here. I will let you know right now that the sleeping quarters are very cramped. And if you have anything that is yours that you would like to keep, do not leave it out in the open. People will take it. It is the thing they do. However, there is quite a large room at the end that some of the others are a little afraid of. There's been the rumor that it's haunted, because it is. He smiles and nods.
I'll turn to Jackson and be like, oh, great. Your little friend will have some little friends too.
Charlie, do you want to go over there and tell us if there's anything useful?
Oh, of course, Jax. I suppose I could be the Ghost Scout on the mission. I'll head right over and take a look. I will. And Jax, you do see Charlie approaches very quietly and looks a bit suspicious. And you see his eyes get real big. And he goes, "Oh, Jax, she's beautiful."
A pretty girl?
Yeah, I don't think she'd be a problem. And as he says that, you see a kind of astral vase go flying by his head and smash behind him on the wall. He goes, "Oh, well, no, she's a bit angry. Not sure. Beautiful, but angry. That's what's going on down there. Yeah."
I think we should stay here. For the moment.
The nun leans in and goes, as uncomfortable as it may seem, I would prefer that we move into there to speak more privately, if that's all right.
Okay, but everybody, hold on to your butts.
I do need to give you the rundown of how things work.
Hold on to your butts and keep an eye on the vases.
She walks you into the room. And again, it's like a small cave. You can just smell the mold and the mustiness of the earth in here as you walk in, which is both nice in a way. It's earthy. It's not unpleasant, but it's kind of rank and dark and not a lot of fresh air. She looks at you all and goes, "All right, so this particular cell, I've put something in here that will keep a lot of the radio interference from outside from being able to get in here to you. It's also why I told Sally to come in here and scare away anyone else that, tried to mess with you. Or me, for that instance. But she keeps the guards out of here as well." You all do see a beautiful young woman kind of walk out with this very hoity-toity look to her. And she goes, "I've done my part. Used to be an actress back in the day, you know. But thank you, sister. If there's anything I can do for you, or while you're here, do let me know. I get a bit peaked at picking real objects up at times. It's a hit and miss, if you will. Still learning about it here and there, but nonetheless, I'm here at your disposal." And she does look over at Charlie and goes, "Oh, enchanté." Charlie leans into you, Jax, and goes, "Love, I'm going to wait outside and just, I'm a bit, hello, goodbye." And Charlie does walk out the door and kind of waits outside, kind of waving himself with his hat for a minute. The nun looks back at all of you and goes, "Well, that was adorable. However, you'll need to know that when you walk outside of this room, anything that you say, you have to assume they can hear. It is imperative to know that they watch as much as possible, and that if you give them any sign of disagreeance, they will use maximum force to try and stop you. If you want to stay together, your best bet is just the path of least resistance, as awful and as horrible as that sounds. And she does look to you, Agnes, as she says that, and then kind of lifts up her habit so that you can see the scrapes on her knees from when the guards tripped her and let her fall to the ground. And she goes, I don't want to take it either, but we have to be quiet. We have to plan. We have to get everyone together. I liked what you guys came up with in there. I think it was brilliant. I think we just have to do it the right way. I've tried my best to set you up with some of the anything I can do. This is all the steps I could have taken to get you started. But you'll have to get more people rallied and for it, and try and figure out some more things. I'm going to help you any way I can. If I get more on the maps, I'll let you know. But I will say that... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was like, so you mean we need to slowly build a kindred army?
Yes. I do know that Heather was trying to put together a resistance force on the outside before. But perhaps that is why the numbers kept getting taken down. They figured you would go away and try to build your numbers. Try to do it from the outside. Perhaps if we can very carefully build the numbers from in here. Soon. We'll find a way out for all of us.
I'm going to look at all of them and be like, ladies, we have to be very careful who we let into this. If one of those kindred out there in the general population thinks slipping to a guard or something will give them some kind of advantage, we can't let our guard down, and we got to be very careful who we let into our circle.
I think that's wise, as things have become far more challenging. I don't have access anymore to, or like I did, to the areas. Everything's been taken from me. So if we're going to start anywhere, it's going to have to be with building a trust in the people we confide in.
And Doctor, since you've been on the other side, you actually might know some of these kindred. If you were doing, I don't know, experiments or whatnot on them, you actually might be able to tell us who can be trusted and who can't better than we can.
I'll do my best. I know this place is far vaster than I had expected, but I'm sure there should be some that I would recognize as being more leaning towards our cause than there aren't.
I'm going to look at B and be like, welcome to the girls' club. And then I'm going to look at Theodora and be like, you've been the quietest I've ever heard you. Dear God, were you all right? And please don't talk to anyone.
She probably has to rest.
As you do look over at Theodora, she is kind of leaning against the cave wall, and she's like, I'm an old lady. She goes, I'm just trying to, not get shot in the face like this one almost over here. She goes, oy, jeez. She goes, this is a lot. She goes, I will not pass out. That is what I will not do. I will stand here and continue to try to breathe. Let me think. There are things that I can do as a Tremere. When the time comes, you do know I have the magic hokey pokey. We can make things happen, and we can, sometimes people's, blood just tends to boil when I'm around. So, you say the word, and
dear God in heaven, I should have never even acknowledged you were here.
She talks a lot about the spooky doopy, but she doesn't seem to do it much in a very useful way.
I take insult to that. And she does kind of stumble over as she says that. She goes, I am a very experienced Tremere. I will show you one day.
Shh. Shh. Shh.
Yes.
So, we're
I'm
gonna
look over at B and be like just like a thank you.
we're gonna rally other kindred to create a resistance against a whole mess of mean idiots with guns. That's what I'm getting. All right, someone else has to do the talking. I don't make friends very easily. This is all very strange to me.
Look, neither do I, but I will say this. We have a pretty good group here. And we've been through some shit, or at least I thought we went through some shit. For all I know, it could have been all in our heads. But regardless, if anything, I feel sorry for all those idiots with guns.
I don't much like the idea of having to suffer abuses in the meantime, but as long as when the time comes I can rip out that guard's throat, I'll pass my time any way you tell me.
I certainly won't stand in the way of you when the time comes. So you slash away.
Actually, having a doctor on our side is pretty beneficial. You all are trusted advisor types everywhere in every culture. Do you think that people will recognize you since you used to work here torturing people?
Well, I think, if anything, that they'd be able to sense that I was one of them, that I was a kindred. That's for certain. And I don't know, I tend to think that I could be charismatic and kind and persuasive, maybe. And I kind of stand tall, kind of.
I don't know that we much care about that. I don't know if, Agnes, you might agree with me. I'm not one for much talking. But I'll be there to back you up.
I can't do much.
We can't bloody well go around saying, here, join our army, and punch them in the face.
Why not?
Well, because they wouldn't. That's just not polite. You're trying to get on people's good sides. There'll be plenty of gods to punch later, I promise you that.
It's an unfamiliar feeling, this good side. Jax, you're very good at magics. Do you think you could maybe make our doctor a different doctor so that people didn't recognize her?
I'm sorry. You want help from the person who talks to nothing? Suddenly?
But look, just because I don't know what's there doesn't mean it's not there.
Jax
you have a lot more friends than I do.
Jax wears a uniform once and it's gone straight to her head.
I did play that role well.
It was very convincing.
Does this place have a theater department?
Oh, God.
I'm sure our places for performances around here. There's a few good singers. Some Toreador, I believe, a bit older, lovely sound, and some also very not lovely sounds that come from them. Actually, now that I think about it, they may have them in a separate wing with their mouths tied shut. But here's the thing. Just remember what we said. I'm going to try and go find Ebus and Delilah for you and put some more work into that and see if I can find Kurt and Heather. The more of everybody that I can locate from before, the better. One by one, I'll try to bring them over here to the rest of you and give them the same rundown as I come across them. But yes, like your plan, quietly, selectively, and also, yes, Doctor, be very careful. There are quite a few people here that will probably not be very happy to see you.
Well, that's understandable. But this is the one chance that we have.
All right. Let's exit out of here before we get too suspicious. I'm going to walk out and fade into the darkness as I do, and you all enjoy yourselves.
Well, I'm going to get a snack.
Rightfully so. And you do see she turns and exits and fades into the darkness of the very rocky and filthy walls and disappears. You look out and see the hustle and bustle of all of these kindred who look like they have been going through a very rough time since they've been in here. There's a few, again, with still a little bit of fight left in them. And as they go to kind of lose their temper at each other, you notice that the guards do, in fact, point those lasers back down at them as they snarl and go up, and their hands go up, and they back away slowly. As you walk towards the cafeteria area, Jax, to get yourself a snack, do the rest of you trail behind? Or is there anything else in particular that you are looking for?
I'm going to trail behind. I'm not going for food. But I am keeping an eye on all the ones that are kind of causing a ruckus and fighting in the common areas. Because I'm keeping my, I'm like, all right, they got a little bit of bite. They got a little bit of bite. This one's more bark. That one's more, and just kind of like assessing each person to see who, like, if we did, who's going to be reckless. So that's not good, but also who's going to, who might be good for joining the ranks.
I like to initiate a conversation with the doctor on the way out of the room. Just, gauging how many head injuries is too many head injuries, and maybe I should go get a CAT scan, like that kind of thing. Just a very totally normal conversation to have with a doctor.
Can we have this conversation on the way to the commissary? Because I don't want to feed particularly now, but I do walk to that area. I'm like, show of hands, Ivy Leaguers, come on, hands up, let's see. Okay, you all have later, you all have later, you all have later. All right then. Yes, and I continue the conversation with B.
Can I get a second opinion before you eat them? Was that? Okay, never mind.
Oh no, I see what you did there.
You notice, Agnes, that there is one in particular that seems to be really fighty, but very good form. She is one of the ones that when the lasers kind of like landed on her, she threw her hands up in kind of a fit of disgust with the fact that this just keeps happening, and kind of shrugged her shoulders forward and went and sat back down and kind of just sitting there, really, really not happy about absolutely any of this. And she does meet the gaze of the doctor as you're all walking up there. And she stands up, very amused, and looks. And her eyes follow Dr. Nadia as you continue to walk. She kind of snaps at one of her other friends across the way and points up at the doctor as they kind of lean over and chat to each other about something.
Is this, how far away are they?
They're maybe about 30 feet.
I'm going to make a little note of that, because we might have some possible enemies/allies, depending on how well we can talk to them later.
We shall see.
Jax, you walk up to the window and you see a man standing there. He looks very blank expressioned, almost like he's asleep as you walk up. But he opens his eyes on your approach and goes, "Can I get you?"
What is the special today?
Same shit every day, lady. It's a grab bag. If you get it and you throw up, we'll pay more attention next time.
I like my food to be, very relaxed.
Well, there's good news for you. He's like, this shit over here. He's like, got handed back to me by somebody who wanted something less relaxed. So I guess it's yours now. And he flings a blood bag down into the little tray and slides it through towards you.
I am an artist. Everything I do. I'm not just an artist when I'm working. I live my life like an artist. Feeding like this is... I take the bag and I walk off.
And you just hear him go, well, color me a rainbow, as you walk off into the distance. And you notice, Dr. Nadia, that this woman starts moving in towards you. And as she does, you recognize her. She was one of the ones that you were told to experiment on back at the beginning, before you were even changed. One of the first. She has been here for quite some time. And by the looks of it now, has got herself quite the crew of individuals that all tend to listen to her. They all pay attention as she walks up.
Do I remember her name?
You do not.
I'll walk up to her.
She goes, huh. You got some nerve coming down here.
How do you mean?
After everything you did to all of us, you thought that you were just going to walk down here. And that's cute. Isn't that cute, guys? Isn't that adorable? And they all go, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great one. That's great. That's brilliant. She goes, so tell us why we shouldn't all just paint the cave walls with every last cell of your body right now.
My dear, it's because myself and my friends over here are the only chance that you will ever have of getting out. So you can come at me with this smug attitude of yours, but believe me, you need us far more than we need you.
And why should I believe you? And as she says that, you all hear a loud buzzing come through as some of the larger electric doors tend to get shifted out of the way. And you can hear it coming from above, the same level that the guns are pointed at you from. And you do see the doctor, the other one, the male. He steps out and looks across the crowd and goes, well, kindred, look at all of you gathered together. Oh dear, and look, the doctor has joined you all. And he does wink down to you, Dr. Nadia. And he goes, well, that was a bit uncalled for, because now I'm sure every last one of you want her strung up by the entrails. But look, I'll do you a little favor, Nadia. I'll go ahead and show them all for you. And as he lifts his hands into the air, you look down at your hands, Doctor, and they start to shrivel. You become grotesque. And as you look around, you notice every single one of you are. You are all hideous creatures. And he goes, take a look, kindred, as you call yourselves. This is what you are. This is what your soul looks like. Get used to it, creatures of hellfire. Soon, we will find a cure for you all. Don't worry. Even if we have to break a few eggs along the way, our omelet will be complete. Salvation lies ahead for all who seek it, mostly. Do enjoy your time here, Doctor. And he turns around and walks out. As you all look across at all of the other kindred in this room, every single one of you, you realize this is what your soul looks like. Because despite how good of a person you think you are, you know that beast lies inside of you. And that is what you are actually looking at. That is exactly what you look like right now. And that is a good place to end our tale this week. Thank you all for coming. We will go around one more time and have everybody kind of say who they are and where you can find them on the socials. And we'll go in the opposite order this time. We'll start with you, Nora.
Hi, everyone. I am Nora Ibrahim. You could find me on Instagram and Twitter at Noralogical. You can find me on Monday nights on Realmsmith for Into the Mist, and Sundays for Damsels in the Dice, where I play Princess Jasmine.
Excellent. And Bonnie?
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Bonnie Gordon. You can find me all over at Bonnie Bell G. And you can also find my comedy parody band at Library Bards. Just you can find me on Monday nights here on Q Times in the Star Trek RPG show Clear Skies, as well as on Saturday nights, a Starfinder show on Dungeons and Things' Twitch channel. It's called Things in Space. It's very funny. And I'm just going to pop all over everywhere. So Wednesday night's here.
Excellent. And Shane?
Hello, I'm Shane Easton. I am here on Denver by Night on Q Times on Wednesdays. Also, pretty soon we will be airing the Polite Club, which I joined Table Goth, and we did a gameplay of what is it called? The Good Society game, the Jane Austen game. Also, my short film that I wrote and act in is touring festivals right now, and I have an outdoor video installation running for Halloween right here in Los Angeles. So you can find out about any of that if you follow me on Twitter at A Slight Sprite. Thank you for watching tonight, and thank you so much for being here, Diana, and it's nice to meet you.
Yes, and of course, Diana. Yes, thank you for joining us. You're the new kid, and you did amazingly. So thank you for that, and we're happy to have you. Tell us where everyone can find you.
Yeah, I'm Diana D'Amico. I am the affiliate manager for Die Hard Dice. I'm one half of Bard and Barbarian, so you can find us over on our channel doing lots of D&D and Call of Cthulhu and fun stuff. I do a Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign on Mondays over on Wandering DM's channel. I'm here on Wednesdays. I'm also going to be back here on Fridays for our New York series that we're doing, which May is a part of. And yeah, I'm super stoked to be here and to join you guys this season. And thank you all so much for having me, really.
And I am Melee Damage. Thank you all for coming. Big, huge shout out and thanks to Q Times for being so awesome to let us do this here on Wednesdays. Jake, you are amazing. Thank you, my wonderful, wonderful cast. You are amazing as always. Do find me on the socials, everything /Melee Damage. If you want some updates on all of the stuff that's going on with this show and some of the others that I do. On Tuesdays, you can catch catch me doing a little Outbreak Undead on Hunter's Entertainment, which is absolutely so much fun because zombies, who doesn't love them? Thursdays, because Wednesdays is here. Thursdays, I believe A Darkened Wish should be coming back soon. It is not back yet, but it will be soon, probably around the same time that we start our magical Wraith game with this lovely lady right here beside me on Fridays, playing some wonderful World of Darkness Wraith. And be sure to stay tuned now. I believe there is an amazing, like, really awesome vampire one-shot that might be coming up right after this that you should probably check out with some more of our amazing friends from other places that you know. Maybe some stream punks.
The stream punks! Woo!
Maybe stream punks playing a little vampire, making it really awesome, you know, doing the thing. Kind of cool. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much again for coming out and checking us out.